on a panel is Bryce Ludwig, who's an engineering manager at Millbank. So Millbank is in, Bryce, what would you say, electrical boxes?
Yeah,
industrial?
we do electrical metering products. So the gray box that's on the side of your house with an electric meter plugged into it, we do that. We also do street lighting, and we do some higher amperage stuff that's serving the EV infrastructure world. So for
nice.
EV charging. Yep.
Good. So thank you. And so Bryce, maybe Bryce wants you to talk about what your career is. I mean, we can kind of see it on there, but you know your career way better than I do.
Yeah. So I've been here 9 years now. And in that time, we've Millbank has used Solidworks for about 20 years, but we retained a lot of our hand drawing processes and mindset as we did that. So we have a lot of tabulated drawings, a lot of those kind of things. So my career here, we've changed a lot of our processes. We've moved ever toward using 3D models as the sort of primary governing document. So a lot of my career has been watching that happen and being part of that. But yeah, as you can see on here, I started out doing industrial design, and then over time have gone from doing the direct contributor design work to management, and got to work with a lot of different groups and a lot of different types of products while doing that. It's been a lot of fun.
Very good. Thank you. Excellent. Thank you and welcome. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, for us, a lot of it was kind of two categories: setting up parts, setting up bills of material, right? So getting part numbers assigned. One of our rules is we always get everything from the ERP system. That's kind of been us for a long time. But the difficulty of that, you start out with, okay, I've modeled up the whole thing. You go make a spreadsheet. Here's all my files. Here's all my configurations. And then now I'm going to go put names to them. So you got to go find the
Right.
master spreadsheet of all the naming conventions, and you put all that out. And then finally you go into the ERP system and, go pull part numbers for that. And it was a very manual process. And then you go apply those back to your models, right? And then you can send that all off for, design review and everything to somebody. So there's a lot there. With what we've done with CADTALK, I mean, we're still pulling part numbers out of the ERP system. We've automated our naming process using some SolidWorks automation and PDM kind of stuff. So between those two things, we can now push a button once we've named everything. It applies all the part numbers to everything that doesn't have a part number, and we're done. So just automating that process alone was huge. And for us, it was a major pain point for a lot of our design engineers. And we've got 24 people doing that all day long. So yeah, that was a huge change for us, a major impact. And then go ahead.
I just said that's interesting because Millbank owns several different of CADTALK's kind of software lines, and the one he's talking about is called the Design for Manufacturing. And one of the things it can do is automatically set part numbers from an ERP and your SolidWorks or your any CAD system really. So it was interesting that that has been like the biggest pain point for you so far in terms of just that part numbering, which is cool. Because I know a lot of customers I've talked to have struggled with part numbering. Like, how do you handle that? Where do you get the numbers? And so that's really
what are your rules around it? All of that.
Rules around it, yes. And then you still got to kind of do it manually. So what you do, it sounds like, if I remember correctly, is that kind of CADTALK Design for Manufacturing essentially reserves numbers from IFS and then just goes through all of your model with the push of a button, and then just assigns new numbers, and then you don't have to do any of that.
Yeah, exactly. So we've done that part. That's been a huge thing. And like I said, for our design engineers, that's going to relieve a major pain point. On the other side of it, we're also doing the bill of material upload and the part upload. So transferring that data in, we've got 4 people full-time who do that right now. So, I mean,
oh, wow.
We're going to redirect their effort to a lot of other projects that need to be done, but, and they'll still have a few things that will be, management by exception kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, for us, it's going to take a lot of what we do manually from tabulated drawings and things like that, and really get it, system to system, very, probably in a very fast version of that car icon you showed. So
right, nice. So to kind of follow up, what was the? I know you guys are still implementing IFS, right? You mentioned that, and what impact have you guys seen, or do you expect to see once you kind of go live and you're using CADTALK? And I think you spoke to a bit about it with the part numbering, but and what do you anticipate? Or
so a lot of it's going to be, and we've had to do a lot of things to get ready for this. So I mean, that's kind of a big one to mention. You know, like I said, we started out with tabulated drawings, and we've been moving toward a model-based approach. So we've done a ton of work to get ready for that. We're still working on that, but part of it is we're going to be able to do engineered order, and that's a big thing for us, dramatically faster than we can now. And we're pretty fast now, but you know, cutting out a lot of these things that really aren't helping us. They're not really helping manufacturing. They're not helping our customers. It'll make things a lot faster for us. So yeah, that's kind of what we're expecting, is that we can get a design set up quickly, get it into the review process faster, and when it comes time to hand it over to manufacturing and to, you know, hand over documents to sales, that'll all be in IFS and ready for them, and it'll be done very quickly. So taking away those handoffs and taking away just those processes that take a lot of time but don't give you a lot back.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, we were, at least at this point, most interested in getting parts and bills of material set up in IFS quickly. That's really the key thing, and to take what's in our models and duplicate that as faithfully as possible on the ERP side. We really wanted to have great alignment with what's in our CAD model, what's in IFS, so that on the shop floor, if you're looking at the print and you're looking at the bill of material, looking at other documents, like, it all lines up. That was really important to us, and it's not something we have now. So it was kind of a learning how to do it was important, but that was kind of the key thing for us, was getting that communication from CAD to ERP and getting it as faithfully done as possible.
I want to explore, just give me a moment. When you talked about, you're interesting in that your project, because you guys had the tabulated drawings, and I remember having a discussion with you, and you remember thinking when you first started on a new ERP, and then also and then CADTALK was something new.
Yep.
I remember you saying to me that was just like kind of a mind blowing of how much, like, I guess how many decisions there were.
Oh yeah,
because you hadn't had any process before, really. It was all manual. So to go from manual to like you said, driving that car fast, just a big, a quantum leap, and there were lots of things to think about that you hadn't thought about before.
Yeah, so I mean, we, as part of that process and getting ready for this, we had to go set up a second Vault instance, go remaster our data, go set all that up the way that it should be. So I mean, we were trying to get things set up so they were, model based as opposed to drawing based, and then trying to implement an ERP and then also connect the two at the same time. So that has been challenging. Yeah.
I should note that the undertaking that you guys did was not what I typically see, where someone goes from essentially paper, right, managing everything by paper, to then say, okay, I got a new ERP, I gotta get we're not even doing full CAD designs the way we should, and then we want to connect them together with our ERP. That's typically not what I see people do. So that effort you had was unique, but I think you mentioned yourself that it's paying off, all that effort to modernize, for the lack of a better term, right? To have that great digital, what they call it, digital transformation, right? Where you're really like, wow, now things are a lot different from what they were before. That's cool. So the next question, Bryce, is for you again. Who on your team was involved in the process of looking for solutions?
Yeah, that was myself and our CAD administrator. We brought in some of our other engineering managers for perspective, along with our VP of engineering. But yeah, we kind of did that in parallel with our ERP selection process. So we also got some good advice from our consultants who are helping us with that. So CADTALK came recommended from them, as well as our ERP system from IFS. I mean, that was kind of
good.
The recommendation we got. So, we went through and kind of verified what we were given, the
Sure.
recommendation we were given. But yeah, there was a lot to like, and that was who was part of our process. So we had a pretty big group involved in it, but that was our process.
Yeah, I would be surprised if engineers didn't take the information and verify it. I would be surprised.
For us, one of the big things, your ability to stay current with both the CAD side of it, so the SolidWorks and the SolidWorks PDM aspect of it, but as well as the ERP side. So the fact that we don't have to stay 1 to 2 years behind on releases of those, for us as the engineering group, we didn't want to accept that. And on the ERP side, we cannot hold the rest of the organization back. Right. So the fact that you all are, basically 1 to 2 months out from every major release was huge. And then the other aspect of it was the ability to add or tweak the property mappings and do that ourselves without needing a developer. I mean, granted, you guys got us started, you did all of that, but we were able to kind of learn what you're doing. We've been able to make a few changes here and there, even along the way. That's been big because, again, I don't want to have to go out and get somebody every time we change one minor thing. I don't want it to become a 2-month process. I want to be able to get something done in a couple of weeks, Yep. So the ability to have some of that on our own was, again, a major decision point for us.
Very nice. Yes, I like that. It's one of the things I think is great about CADTALK myself.
One of the ones I'm really excited about is kind of like I mentioned earlier, having that fidelity between the 3D model, our engineering print, and the ERP system. So really having that three-way match on truth and what the design intent is, being able to convey that. That's going to be major for us. And again, we had to work a lot with all 3 of our plants to get them in sync with. You're going to have one bill of material. It's going to be the same at all places. You can phantom whatever you like, but it'll all be there. So I think the other one that's going to be great, being able to do some other projects that we need to do. We need to apply some of our UL test results and things and categorize those and database them. The people who are really able to do that are spending most of their time inputting bills of material. Right. So again, being able to get them into other things that we also need done that are very important, but again, just never urgent enough. Now we can do that. So those are the kind of things I'm excited about, is getting the speed of what we're doing up and, again, having that accuracy, but then also being able to say, now we can go do more. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things I didn't expect, everyone says in their sales pitch, they're great to work with, they're nimble, they can do all these things. And we got to find out very early on that was true. Another functional area in our group added a mandatory custom field to the bill of material. We didn't know about it. And all of a sudden, we couldn't upload data, we couldn't do anything. Jeff, you and your team worked very quickly to get us access to those fields, get them set up, put in property mappings that help us, address those things. So we were able to get through it within a couple weeks. It was pretty fast. So that was kind of a cool thing to find out. Yes, we did choose to work with the right people on this process.
Thank you. I'm glad that's true. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. For us, it happened kind of naturally. We were evaluating ERP systems. We knew that modern ERP had these, CAD connection options. And that was kind of one of the things everyone in our organization was like, oh yeah, you guys need that, obviously. So it was, I don't want to say they led us there, but yeah, when we said we wanted to do it, everyone was fairly on board. So again, once we went through the process of evaluating and all that, it was pretty easy to justify the investment.
Nice. How big are your bills of material? So 50, 100, thousands? How big is a bill of material?
I'll start there. We have products that are like literally one part, and then they go all the way up to a couple thousand. So we span that entire gamut among different product lines and things. But yeah, I mean, it's ours are somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 parts pretty frequently.